Hello everybody, today we're going to be doing Heroes Quest. And to take on Heroes Quest, I gotta finish up a few of these requirements that I need. In the last video, I'd already shown you that we got 53 cooking, we also got 53 fishing, but in this episode we're also going to be knocking out 50 mining, 25 herb lore. We did end up getting the 55 quest requirement to do it from the last quest we completed. We actually have 56 quest points. I think that's probably because we had also done Rune Mysteries, because it was a free-to-play quest. But aside from that, we've already completed Shield of Arav, we've completed Lost City, we've completed Dragon Slayer, and we've completed Merlin's Crystal. All of those are the requirements that you need in order to do Heroes Quest, except for one other thing: we need a partner. So I gotta find some random dude to help me out with this, just like we did in Curse of Arav. I'm sorry, not Curse of Arav, Shield of Arav. Very different quest. Let's go ahead and get started with the mining. We're gonna knock that out first. Then we'll see what we want to grind out next. So the majority of the mining that I've been doing is either mining pure essence to make money, or I have been just mining coal and mining iron so that I can make iron bars. Part of that is to help my smithing grind, because I'm eventually going to need 50 smithing to do Legends Quest. And I also wanted to smith some iron knives to help train my range, because I do need to get 40 range to do Temple of Ikov, and that one's not too far off. So obviously it's a decent amount of mining to get to 50, so I should have enough banked to get very close to 40 range, if not 40 range, and very close to 50 smithing. I'll probably still have a little bit left over, a little bit more smithing left over to do by the time I get to Legends Quest, but this will take out a good chunk of it by just trying to tackle my mining. But I did make a decent amount of money from mining pure essence. It's very lucrative in this game. You can make a decent amount of money by doing a very AFK skill method. There's not a lot of AFK things that you can do on this game, and even regular AFK things you can't totally AFK it because of randoms. You could just die at any point in time, so you do have to pay attention. So I did end up getting 46 mining while I was at work, so I just took a photo with my phone. And as you can see here, we just got 47 mining. And then there's 48 mining, 49 mining, and 50 mining. So after racking up about 1,560 coal, I figured it was time to move on to something else. And I actually ended up doing crafting as a small diversion. And there we have 35 crafting. Now granted, that was from level 32 that we had started, but now that we've built up a decent amount of bowstrings, we're actually going to sell them and see how much money we can make off of them. So after looking up on the market forums for somebody to buy my bowstrings, found a guy named Cowman who was willing to buy them from me. So I quickly hopped over to him. I did end up selling them for about 310 each, which should have been 156,000. He shorted me, which I didn't really care at the time, you know. It's whatever. I'm not trying to penny pinch in this game. But he did message me after I'd hopped and basically was like, "Hey man, I shorted you 5K. Nice people in this game. I can't stop saying that, but I just told him it's whatever. I didn't really care that much about 5K, and a really chill guy. He was very nice, and I was just happy to get my bowstring sold and get a little bit more coin in my bank account. Now, I did want to go over this other diversion that I had. I was just walking through Varrock, and I see these people standing in the middle, and all of a sudden a bunch of people came, and they started dropping cabbages, something about like the cabbage cult. I ended up getting a rune scimitar from it. I don't know how I got lucky with that. It's actually really nice to get in this game. It's like drop parties are very lucrative. So with this large group of people here, I basically asked around if anyone would sell me a rune axe for 15k, and someone actually did say they would sell it to me. So I met him over at the bank, paid him for it, and now I've got a rune axe for future woodcutting endeavors, so that's really nice too. I think this is like a really cool community throwback to the old cabbage cult that used to be a thing way back when. But trying to get back on track to the requirements for Heroes Quest, I need to get a higher Herblore level. So I've basically just been south of Varrock killing unicorns to try to collect their horns to make some strength pots, which I pretty much just did magic the entire time. So I'd pretty much just hop worlds, fill up my inventory with unicorn horns, walk to the bank, bank it, walk back, rinse, and repeat. Had to use the rest of the Eyes of Newts that I had in my bank to make some more tack pots. Get myself 13 Herblore real quick. Oh, and a little too late did I realize I didn't have a pestle and mortar, so I'm going to try to make anti-poison potions. I didn't even grind up the horn with a pestle and mortar, so I had to go down to Falador and buy a pestle and mortar. In Taverley, of course, not Falador, but you know what I mean. Teleport to Falador to get to Taverley, then I could grind up all the unicorn horns into dust. 19 Herblore, 20 Herblore. Can now identify Harlanders. 21, 22 Herblore. Can now make stat restore potions. 23. Oh, and wouldn't you know it, we got a nice random genie. And we're putting that right onto Herblore. 240 Herblore XP. A sneaky 41 magic. I actually ended up going below Varrock Sewer to collect some red spider eggs for my other potions. And I got a nice little 43 magic as well. So that's cool. Superheat. Wonder if I'll actually use that. And there we have it. 25 Herblore. Can now identify Ranarr weeds. So excited to see how many Ranarr weeds I ended up getting from that long Chaos Druid grind. So let's go ahead and clean those and find out. Huh, only 33. I was kind of hoping for more, but that's still really good once I actually get the level to make prayer pots. I did end up getting some free time to AFK mining, and I mined a bunch of pure essence. Sold it for a nice 240k to add to the bank. Really good example of how profitable skilling is in this version of RuneScape. I was mining and I got a genie random, and I was going to use it on magic, but it's a lot harder to train prayer, so I ended up just spending it on prayer. So I did eventually find somebody to sell me the rune plate body for about 60k, and I actually did want to buy a glory too. Way more expensive, 200k. It's a lot for a glory. So now that I'm all decked out in pretty much the best gear you can get in this version of the game, except for a D-Med, because fuck buying that, that's too expensive. I did want to explain myself a little bit. I don't know why, but the video corrupted for the start of Heroes Quest and where I got the lava eel, but just trust me, I did obviously start it and I did cook successfully one lava eel. So we're kind of skipping ahead a little bit to the Ice Queen. I'm sorry, I really wish I had the footage, but... Oh, 26 Herblore. Nice. But, either way, here we go to the Ice Queen. Oh, nice little random event there. That's nice. But yeah, Ice Queen, pretty much a pushover when you're wearing full rune. Pretty easy kill, to be honest. And that is the Ice Queen defeated. We got our ice gloves. Very nice. Time to go get that fire feather thingy from the Phoenix. So the Phoenix is on Intrana, so we gotta strip down naked and get searched before we can go on there. Pretty much nothing on except for our ice gloves. Come over here, you little fire chicken. And he's gone. There's our fire feather. Very nice. So this last portion of the quest is where you're required to have another player help you. So I literally had to ask around for somebody who was in the Black Arms gang, and he did help me get it. So very happy that a total random stranger would be willing to help me in this game. And I did reward him with 1k rune essence for helping me out, just because I know how much of a pain it is to do something in the game that you're not really required to do. You're just kind of helping somebody out. So I had to give him compensation. I made my way back to the Heroes Guild and gave this lady all the items that she was looking for. Of course, she has to pull a cheeky little prank on me, telling me that there's more, when there's not. After I get this quest completed, I get a huge levels dump, which is very nice. And that is Heroes Quest complete. We get 1 quest point, but we also get 42 attack, 46 HP, 13 range, 39 woodcutting, 17 firemaking, 36 smithing, and lastly we got 27 herblore. Not bad. So after completing the quest, I just started grinding mage and prayer by killing pretty much exclusively blue dragons, just for the dragon bones, great prayer experience. I did end up getting myself a hard clue scroll, which is great. My first and so far only clue scroll I've done on this game. Got 36 prayer. And I got 54 magic. So after that, I took a little bit of a break. I wanted to complete the clue scroll I got, so I had to go over to the observatory because the first step of my hard clue was a coordinate step. That means I was now able to get the sextant, watch, and map. I remember this being like required back in the day when I first started. So in 2008, when I first started playing, if you had coordinate clues, basically it wouldn't work. Like if you went to dig and you didn't have the sextant, watch, and map in your inventory, it just wouldn't work. So you just had to carry those around with you anytime you had a coordinate step. And I don't remember when they changed that for old school RuneScape, but you can just have a spade and nothing else and be fine. Because you play this game, or at least for right now, this version of 2004 Scape is very Iron Man-like, except you can trade with other players, but you pretty much do everything yourself in the game. If I were to complete a hard clue scroll, whatever that reward is can be literally like game-changing. If you get something rare that's really expensive, you can still sell it and make a lot of money. Now, specifically with medium clue scrolls, if you end up getting like ranger boots or wizard boots, that can be really good. So I did end up getting some decent loot. The 40 law runes was super helpful. You can always use more law runes in this game. But I got 3 pieces of range equipment that I can't wield, and I'm nowhere near wielding. I got rune plate legs, which is nice to have. But because I don't need any of this range gear, I just gave it to some random guy who was wearing range equipment, because they could probably use it a lot more than I could. And that'll pretty much wrap up this episode. main point here is we grinded a lot of levels. We completed Hero's Quest, completed a clue scroll. I think we got a lot of progress done. Next episode, I don't know. I don't know if the progress video style was better or worse than just purely focusing on the quest style, but if you guys want to let me know which one you prefer, I'll try to tailor my editing in that way. But look out for the next episode. We're going to be taking on Scorpion Catcher.